Hi, I'm Pete Lautensack, and I just want to start off by saying Cheryl and I want to say congratulations, New Hope Community Church. Congratulations, Koinonia, on 50 years of faithful service to the Potsdam community. Hard to believe that 50 years ago, a group of men from Potsdam contacted a soon-to-be graduate with an MDiv out of Trinity Evangelical Divinity School and his wife and offered them the outstanding career opportunity to come to Potsdam to start a church that would minister to the local community and the college campuses with the outstanding stipend of we can cover your salary, we can cover your housing, we can throw some wood in your wood stove for 6 months. John and Jane, thank you so much for accepting that call, hearing God's voice and responding, and establishing Koinonia, what is now New Hope Community Church in Potsdam. My engagement with Koinonia came as a young freshman who entered Clarkson as an engineering student, as a believer, but not sure what church or fellowships I would find when I got to college back in '74. I got involved with InterVarsity early on, and through that involvement learned that there was a group that went to this church called Koinonia, a term I wasn't familiar with, on Sunday evenings. A time I wasn't used to going for the main church service. And over the course of my freshman year, I decided I ought to maybe check this out. So I can remember getting in the back seat of Armand Damiano's car, driving down to the Methodist church, which Koinonia was renting, walking in the back door, coming around front and being greeted by this guy with a bushy beard who said, "Welcome, we're glad you're here." And the next memory of Koinonia was some guy up front playing a guitar, rather thick eyeglasses, who said, "Come on in, we're here to worship the Lord." And that was how I met John Alt and Mike Webster, both of whom had a tremendous impact on my life as a young college student on through the 3 years I stayed after school, graduation. Those relationships and discipleship and mentoring training with John, Mike, and the other elders had profound impact on my time in Potsdam, and are lessons that today I still use and impart with others as I meet with my small group. From the Methodist Church, I can remember when we were moving to the Roxy Theater, the infamous Roxy, where you had to come in on Sunday morning early to sweep out the popcorn from the night before, clean out the milk duds, and on many occasions have to pray out the spirits that may be lingering in the rafters from the previous night's movie. I can remember getting there early, setting up lights and a sound system and doing sound checks, and then amazingly creating spaces inside the movie theater for a nursery, a young children's area, a Bible study being taught by someone about basic doctrine, another Bible study over here, and then worshiping, and then when we were done tearing it all down, putting behind the movie screen and packing it up to be pulled out the next week. I can remember also the excitement when we first learned that, hey, there was land available, and went and found the land at 33 Grant Street, and that we would be building a building there, a permanent building that would be ours. We wouldn't have to be there so early to set up. And today, that is the very location that New Hope Community Church resides on. Those were exciting times. Personally, I enjoyed the time invested in me by the elders, and John and Mike in particular, teaching me and discipling me on how to teach and how to preach, how to exegete passages, how to handle tough topics, how to be a person of God. I could use these tools in my small group. And I remembered the time I could get involved with music ministry through Judy and Pat Gillen and Rick and Darlene and Rainbow, and then moving on to work with Cornerstone for a number of years, proclaiming the gospel through music and preaching across the North Country, and the fun that we had and the messages we were able to bring of what God was doing back into Koinonia. And then, of course, there was the fun at Bay Street. As a Bay Street boy, being able to host some parties with the Bay Street Bashes and the ministry we had with the church. So once again, thank you, New Hope, for all that you poured into me. Thank you, Koinonia, for all that you poured into so many students and the impact we've had across the world. Literally hundreds of people engaged in ministry and proclaiming God's word Congratulations on 50 years, and we look forward to what God is doing in the future. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you've done. May God continue to bless you in your time going forward. Congratulations.